most teams. We'll start the operator ban phase, and who will it be? Jackal.
Not surprised at all. Jackal has been such a powerful operator for Team Empire, but you know what that means? It means Capitao is left unbanned this time around. Glaz taken out there. Not surprised by that either. Empire have struggled with Glaz on the side of EG in the past.
This will be a Mira ban.
Oh, yeah.
On next.
They've always banned Mira. There you go. So it's going to be Echo or Maestro in all likelihood as the final ban from Evil Geniuses, as that's what they've been banning so far. Could see something completely different. Who knows? Well, there you go. It's the Echo. He's gone. Pretty standard ban phase for this map.
EG bans Echo because they probably weren't going to play him anyway, because with Jackal being banned, it's very likely that you're going to see Joystick on IQ.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
So if you put him on IQ instead of Scyther, then it's very likely that these Yokais are going to get taken care of, and because of this, well, you know.
Oh.
Well, you don't really need it, but...
Is that Joystick on Ashe?
It does appear to be Joystick on Ashe.
Maybe they're going to 6-pick him off?
I mean, the Hibana, Zofia, Thermite, and Thatcher are all very standard for this squad.
It's the opportunity here.
They could 6-pick off into a Capitao.
I mean, Capitao, Nomad, IQ, lots of options for utility-based picks here.
0 6-pick, actually, Mike.
But yeah, no 6-pick from either team.
So let's get things underway here. Our final map. No matter what happens, at most 15 rounds left here in Milan to crown a champion. EG would be repeat champions. They won once before under a moniker known as Continuum.
Nope.
Team Empire looking for their very first trophy.
Genius is going to start things off on the basement. Pretty safe pick. One interesting fact is that they are fully reinforcing Blue Wall into Church. They are aware that it is something Empire like to pressure a lot. Blue. They take control of Blue, they have a crossfire into Church, and then it's a Moto take with a Church wall open as well, usually. There is a Thermite here and a Thatcher, so that's a big play that could be made by Empire, and a strat that they love to run. So Evil Geniuses trying out of the gate to counter their opponents by placing hard destruction somewhere where there won't be a hard destructor. Now,
oh, there you go. Doesn't have the ACOG on the R4C, but he has it on the G36.
I don't think a lot of people would wonder what Joystick would run on Ashe, given the option between an ACOG-less R4C and a G36C with an ACOG. And it seems like he's made his choice here.
You can take the ACOG out of the Ashe, but you can't take the Ashe out of Joystick.
That's true. And it seems like he's played, I believe, with the R4C without an ACOG. He's pretty versatile. He could do either or. It's still curious to me that they're going to bring an Ashe, though, over so many of the other options. Is that a regression? I don't think so. Maybe just Joystick in his purest form.
I think the first couple rounds here will really give us a shining example of where EG is mentally, and that's something that you have to watch out for, because as much as I had said that EG was playing cool under pressure, I was immediately force-fed my own words.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a pretty impressive comeback from Empire at the same time. Yes, okay, EG definitely threw a number of rounds there, but Empire did great to seize that opportunity. They did absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think you can really argue otherwise. Now, because there's no Sledge or Buck that's being brought out from Empire, their soft destruction is going to come almost exclusively in the hands of the Zofia, as Joystick is all on his own, and he's going to find Young, but those trauma plates will absorb quite a bit of damage, and Young, or rather, I guess disperse quite a bit of that energy from those bullets. Yeah. Young will find himself about 25 HP below 100. But he'll get away. Joystick also eats a goo mine for his Trumbull, and it'll be a Moto drop from Empire as well. There goes a Zofia concussion mine, and we might see some active bandit tricking here as the exothermic charge on the Church wall will go down, and instead it looks to be possibly impact tripped.
Shepard trying his best, but he's only got one exothermic charge left, and oh, this active bandit tricking. He's forcing Shepard to continue to move. Joystick will take down MVK, though, finally gets a pick from inside of Blue. But he's still got those reinforced walls to contest with. And Shepard hasn't been able to open up Church. Canadian doing a heck of a job to deny this. There are no EMPs left. And there you go! Canadian, what a beautiful bandit trick. Karzeka, though, is going to get one, and Joystick his second. It's just Canadian. Oh, Empire! A beautiful round. and a perfect one to boot. They take it quite confidently.
They realize that if we can't get through the wall, well, we've got Joystick distracting them inside of blue. So let's just decide to funnel on in and kill them all. And easy enough. Great individual effort and really good play from Canadian. But that only goes so far. And while all of your teammates are dying around you, whether you bandit trick the wall or whether it's opened up by an exothermic charge, your number's up next and you're on deck. And that's exactly what happened. Joystick inside of blue was a particular menace. And then Karzeka also looking for the possible impact trick. Look at this shot onto Young. I don't think the Rook was quite expecting that. And then also 2 beautiful shots from Joystick. Really opened things up for Empire.
Oh no, Parker, I'm seeing deja vu right now. EG going to the basement again. So what happened? What really caused that, well, that tremendous unfortunate event is what I'm gonna call it for Evil Geniuses on the last map? They went to the top floor 3 times in a row, lost it 3 times in a row despite having the edge 3 times in a row. So I really, really hope for Evil Geniuses' sake that they know what they're doing. They know what they're getting themselves into by going to the basement again. That it wasn't just Empire having a really good attack strategy and EG not being set up right.
Really a remarkable start here, and Empire need to keep up this torrid pace that they established at the end of Oregon. This now marks 6 rounds in a row for Empire without EG being able to stem, or stop the bleeding rather. Stem the losses that are coming from Empire, or coming from them on Empire's hands. I apologize. EG once again downstairs on Church, are still in the midst of setting up, so it's a bit of a belated setup here. Nobody really claiming any map control whatsoever. If you look over on EG's side, you've got 6 impact grenades, none of which have been used. So your full strategy is going to be absolute breach denial. Empire did an exemplary job on Fnatic, and for that first round, the same on Evil Geniuses when it came to killing the people who were doing said breach denial.
Yeah, I think Evil Geniuses bringing in excess, probably the right call here, just to know that they can deny that kitchen drop down for as long as they need to, as well as the Church wall.
Yeah.
Joystick trying his best to apply some pressure to blue. He did a great job last time he was here.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's also no Bandit, no Kaid, no Mute on the board, so you're basically going to have to try and take out the gadgets that are going to be put down from both the Thermite as well as the Hibana. It's the impacts
as we talked about.
Absolutely. And it's going to be tough to do that inside a kitchen when you've got these breaching charges tearing away at all of the floor. Dan and Canadian will be the first to find themselves staring each other down. This long-range engagement will favor Dan on the Zofia down at the bottom of the main stairs, and he has used 1 of his impacts now. He's under fire and looking to see if somebody from EG is going to aggress on towards Moto, but nobody will. It'll be Shepard throwing out a drone, and EG have both Necrox and Canadian inside of Moto. The drone looks to survive, at least for the time being, and it will sit there as Shepard will drop and now attempt to get the wall. This is where the impact grenades will prove to be successful or not. Shepard waiting and watching. He'll place an exothermic charge on the middle, and the concussives will go on in, and the MP will go off, and the impact will not get the wall. Joystick starting things off by taking NVK, so 2 very important strokes there for Empire, claiming not just some reinforcements, but additionally 1 of the bodies from EG.
It's a really excellent pick there early on. I say early on. We're in the last 30 seconds here for Team Empire. They've had a slow take here, but they're already racking up more bodies. They're punishing their opponent, and they're taking full control. Armory is lost. Everything's lost. Necrox in the main hallway. He will get 1. He will not get 2. And Empire will take yet another attack onto the basement.
I was surprised that Clubhouse was let through the ban phase, but
as was
I mean, surely there was something that EG thought they might have been better equipped to go here than any other map that they could have found themselves on. I mean, it was EG that banned Coastline, if I recall correctly, instead of Clubhouse. And I mean, with the way that EG's been playing on Coastline, there's plenty of VODs for them, for anybody to watch.
Wow.
Beautiful shot. And then there's another. Joystick's been in the same position now 2 rounds, and nobody seems to be any the wiser.
Okay, you know what? At this point, it has to be getting to Evil Geniuses.
Oh, no question.
And they're going to adjust. Thank God. They go to gym. They're not going basement anymore.
The site that most teams don't want to go on to. The thing with EG is that they are an emotional team. We say this time and time again. A big round victory, 1 or 2, is enough to put them back on even footing.
Yeah.
When do they get it? That's the question.
Well, maybe it's going to be here. The new site. This could be the opportunity they've been waiting for. The crowd is certainly cheering for Empire at this point. Evil Genius is setting up a hold on the cash side, as you can see. Lots of utility being invested. Castle barricades, Legion mines, ADSs, a whole lot going into holding on to cash. And that is going to allow for a crossfire, a very long angle crossfire, deep into the site, all the way from the other side, the east side of the building.
Interestingly enough, a lot of teams don't go to gym willingly.
Some do. You know, it's preference. I think there's a lot of teams that comfortably defend this site. Evil Geniuses might be one of them. I mean, with the confidence that they went to this instead of cash, it screams a lot.
I mean, they saw how routine all of the pushes from Empire were onto cash and CCTV when Fnatic was holding it.
True.
And the precision that Empire had to flush out any garage plays that might be there from the defense, tearing away at that wall that would be inside of CCTV that does connect the garage. And Capitao is on the board, which makes holding garage even more difficult. So, for the time being, though, Empire have not ran with the Capitao. So this might prove to be a pretty decent ban for EG on the Jackal.
Empire makes that look so easy, opening up the jacuzzi wall. There was no one contesting it, but still, beautiful job on the coordination. If it were necessary, it certainly would have worked. And as it stands, it wasn't, and also did work. Necrox trying his best to hold Joystick at bay. The flash is coming out, the ADS not there. There needs to be support, and there is! NVK, a very important frag onto Joystick. Shepard has been downed as well, outside on Jacuzzi balcony. He could be finished off, he's very exposed, and there it is! Young puts another kill onto the board, and Evil Geniuses find themselves up 2 men in this very tense 3rd round.
They get the calls and then they just immediately get the hell out of there. And there's another one to add to it, to the trophy that EG is establishing inside of this round. It'll be Dan that goes down. Young playing and waiting alongside Geometrics. And again, EG's teamwork so far has been incredible in this round. And it's exactly what they needed to get themselves and their head back in the game. There'll be Karzeka wandering just outside of the 2 sites, waiting and watching a window. He sees a panel get punched out as the castle of NVK will drop immediately. 50 seconds left, and if you play too aggressively, you can find Karzeka able to dive on 1 or 2 of your players and put you in a position where it can get tough to come back from. And Karzeka makes that look easy on NVK, as you had said earlier, for Empire getting the wall open. Spotted on the camera, so they know that his position happens to be down in the bar, towards the billiard table, and now we'll head towards the main stairs. But on the main stairs happen to be some barbed wire that will give his position away. He also doesn't hold that diffuser, as it's being camped for the time being by EG. Still have some stun grenades in Karzeka's hands, so he does have some opportunity to thwart any defender nearby, but he's running out of time here. And 10 seconds left. It's very unlikely that EG is going to allow him up. He's got a goo mine. He'll have to stop for just a moment, and this round is effectively over. Nobody from EG even needs to push, and EG won't even get the kill. They're practicing the best patience they can, and they'll take a round that they need in the very first round that will break this streak that Empire had established since the end of Oregon.
Beautiful win there from EG. Like you say, the patience really shining through for the Russians, or rather, for the Americans. Beautiful job. Like I said, this round that I think could have been Empire's, they were split up pretty heavily. One thing that stood out is their inability to clear out cache and cache stairs, as well as server. They stumbled on that clear. There was not enough manpower invested. A little bit distracted by the jacuzzi wall. We've seen from Empire in the past, the reason this is interesting is we've seen from Empire in the past that they will open up jacuzzi wall late after clearing out cache. This time, Empire got a step ahead of themselves and opened things up for Evil Geniuses to simply take the round off of frags. A little refrag power there on the side of Team Empire.
Cash is the right call here for this team. At least they'll see what Empire is capable of doing. They got a first-hand experience with it, or well, rather, second-hand experience with it, watching that Fnatic matchup earlier.
Yeah, and the basement just has not been working out for Evil Geniuses.
And the way that EG is running this, bringing the castle, this is going to be different. And there's some unique North American strats involving castle, holding downstairs inside of lounge with a deployable shield, and contesting it, forcing the attackers to waste time and resources, pushing into lounge, holding off a push into garage as well, because the person on defense inside of lounge can stop any attacker from going up those stairs towards the rafters. Right now, for the time being, it's Gio who's going to be playing off-site, not over by lounge, he's over by the strip club instead. And where the Valkyrie will go, nobody really knows.
He's doing his best to stay elusive. MVK playing underneath the site, trying to keep that lounge presence available for Evil Geniuses so they can possibly deny from below. Decent setup here from EG, just pretty standard stuff. Canadian inside of garage on the rafters has a castle barricade on his window, which is going to allow him a little bit of freedom of movement. He can decide which engagement he wants to take because of that castle barricade. Once the wall gets opened up, and yes, it is open by Empire, Canadian will be more exposed, but again, the castle barricade really working for him. Finally, it's broken. Joystick by Jim. They'll be clearing out on the other side of the building. They're just trying to get workshop control. The right call here from Empire. Young, the one who will have to contest this.
Key to this push from Team Empire is going to be opening up that wall that divides CCTV into garage, where you had seen from Fnatic, Aces played quite a bit. Canadian was up on the rafters, so he would have been the intended target for Empire. He has since dropped down. But no, there he goes, back up there, and Dan will catch him. Not exactly sure what Canadian was thinking, not necessarily assuming that the Zofia would be up as long as she was. And Dan just holding that angle is an absolute nuisance. There's another body too. Necrox getting called on in, and Dan drops NVK. Oh my gosh. Young and Gio will battle back though, and there's a pistol out from Young. He downs Scyther, and there's another mark going on in. So Empire's position is well known. This could be Evil Geniuses with an opportunity to turn the tide here, and this would be a significant victory. But through the wall, Shepard will get shot as he's immobile for the time being. Joystick cannot come to the rescue, at least for the time being. I think there's some hesitation here on his part. They'll find Young, and it will be once again a familiar name that we've been saying all day. It'll be up to Gio. The Joystick is holding a separate angle, and he'll have to look to the right. There's Gio, but Joystick is the better player in that particular instance. He'll shut it down, and Empire will stretch out their lead 3-1.
Empire find themselves in such a strong position. And they look so much more alive than they had on Oregon. Evil Geniuses on the other hand, nowhere to be seen. Cash Room next. Will be second attempt. It was a very nice effort put in by EG, but it just wasn't enough. The main detriment there for Evil Geniuses on that last round was garage. They relied way too heavily on the castle barricade that was placed and then destroyed by the Zofia. Once that was gone, the player inside of garage picked off. And then a second pick because MVK decides to walk up the garage stairs into the same exact angle. Evil Genius is just giving away those frags. It can't be happening. For nothing. There was a refrag, of course, but it was too late. Two bodies on the floor.
And I mean, the thing is that NVK wasn't expecting to take that engagement. He was running. He wasn't looking to try and fight. And I don't know if the location of the Zofia had been called out correctly.
He wanted a safe haven.
I mean, and that's commendable. And I think the right call to try and get towards that reinforced wall that divides the garage from the B-bomb site, but it was all for naught.
Yeah. Well, Evil Geniuses, dire straits. Team Empire looking so incredibly sharp. It really is beautiful to see this kind of comeback.
I think we realize as well at this point that the castle wasn't working, so EG will sub off and swap up a couple things on this roll. We'll see exactly how NVK intends to use this Ella that's on the team, as she typically thrives in close quarters engagement. She's got the Scorpion, so it won't be running the shotgun, so you can take a bit longer engagements, but still, it's not the same weapon that it used to be at one point in time. Breach denial on the wall into CCTV will be gone very quickly, and that exothermic charge will do exactly what it's intended to do. So push EG back. The double hard breach is very common here on Clubhouse. It's not really a surprise to see, and Karzeka didn't even really need to use the XK-Ros at all. Onto the wall, leading into the garage. The server wall that was on the interior rather than the exterior.
You know, EG does not need to contest the server wall, but it is useful. One playing inside a bathroom, he's gone undetected. This could be a bunch of free kills here for whoever that is. It's Geo, pops up from behind and gets, no, he doesn't! Shut down by Karzeka, and Joystick gets Canadian to boot. The Roamers completely done away with. Evil Geniuses again find themselves in a nearly unwinnable situation. 3-5.
What a performance from Karzeka that was. A beautiful shot, and one you don't see people hit all of the time, but when you have a team like Empire, that's what you come to expect. Joystick picking away at Necrox, and it'll be Scyther there, Shepard as well, and it's falling apart at the seams for Evil Geniuses. Young, who was the clutch master last time, will find one, but his position given away, and he'll be isolated on top of Red, trying to get back into the site. It's likely an effort in futility. As Shepard goes for the plant, and there's Joystick holding the angle, and Empire find themselves doing the same thing to EG that Fnatic had to struggle through earlier on. 4-1 for Empire on attack on Clubhouse.
So, last defensive round. Evil Geniuses having so little success on the defensive side on a map like Clubhouse, like you said, is honestly a little bit shocking. Empire have been playing out of their minds, though. Absolutely dominant. Here we go. Basement defense, last defense again for EG. They're going to do everything they can to end this half 4-2, but even then, it will be difficult to recover. A lot of head shaking going on here.
Yeah, there's the looks and expressions on them. All that magic seemed to have dried up on Oregon for that team, and really, we are witnessing one of the most miraculous shows of dominance that a team has had at this level in ages, absolute ages.
It's getting into the heads of EG, that's for sure. I mean, it's gotten into the head. It got into their heads at the end of the last map. Yeah. They lost 5 in a row.
My time is correct. In the last 35 minutes, EG has won 1 round. That's it. And if you look at it from round 10 onwards of Oregon, all the way through to round 14 and now here, you know, you're looking at almost a dozen rounds that have been won for Empire, you know, and they will need to continue on that pace.
I mean,
Empire were no worse on defense as well for the, you know, what we saw from Fnatic too, but
they didn't have much of a stretch there.
We only saw 1 round.
Yeah, so I don't know if that counts, but I agree. It's going to be difficult for EG. I mean, no matter how you look at it. If EG does not end this in a 4-2, then wow, is it going to be hard for them to come back. If EG ends this in a 4-2, then wow, is it going to be hard for them to come back.
9 of the last 10 rounds going in favor of Empire, and EG did muster up that defense on Jim. They'll go back there, you know, and lose a body immediately. Geo coming down, not understanding that Dan was inside a garage, and he will bid farewell to one of the members of EG who would likely be relied upon later in this round itself. It's a church defense downstairs, and
situational awareness has left the building.
As has NVK. Canadian now in a position where he might be able to get an engagement with Karzeka, but no, there's going to be nothing there. Karzeka will fall off. For EG fans, this must be tough to watch, but for Empire fans, and for people who are neutral observers as we are, this is a masterclass in utter domination.
Empire are just playing insanely well. They're being gifted a lot of free opportunities to get picks, but they are not hiccuping at any point in that process. They completely seize upon the opportunity, leaving no room for evil geniuses to breathe. It's incredible to watch.
With Joystick very tentatively walking down the blue stairs. Hitting the goo mine, his position will be given away. And instead of engaging, he'll try to find some more information. Canadian trying to get back to site for shelter will not do so, and Dan will once again be able to win an engagement. And Joystick going for broke, but he won't get anywhere. He'll be swiftly dealt with by Young. A bit of a haphazard entry there from Joystick, but when you're up in this position, you can take some chances, I suppose. That'll leave Scyther at the door of Moto, looking to push on in. There's one body inside of blue as well. Scyther will breathe in some of the toxic canisters, but that'll be it. He can decide to enter through the Moto doorway as Shepard finds Necrox, and there's Young. Last alive inside of blue. Most of the bullets from Scyther will not find their target, but he'll be marked from drones over and over again. And put him out of their misery, Empire. Why don't you? 5-1. Oh my goodness.
You know, there are so many maps. Oh, wait. There are so many maps that Empire excel at. It's a long list. And until today, I don't know if you would necessarily put Clubhouse on there. Maybe, but after today, 100%, without a shred of a doubt. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
There's still potential for evil geniuses to bring this back, but at what point does the list of maps that Empire are just unbeatably good at exceed the list of maps that exist within Pro League? When are they going to start practicing? When are they going to start practicing maps that aren't even in Pro League? Because it seems like we're heading that direction.
I mean, Empire does not play Villa, EG does.
Fair.
Empire's perma-ban is Villa.
Yeah.
They'll ban it first no matter what. If somehow it gets through the ban phase, well, then that's where things get tough.
But
I think it's when you get to best of fives, because Empire can only ban Villa in a best of five.
True.
Which they will.
No.
It will push their maps that they are proficient at to the forefront. Empire will pick Oregon, Consulate, Coastline, and now Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's such a pool of maps that Empire just seem indomitable upon that I don't know. I just, you know, it's difficult to really see. But yes, you're right. Best of fives would be a great opportunity. This is not a major, though. So these finals are not a best of five. This is the best of three. And Evil Genius is, well, they have to do it here or it's over. Empire take the win. And Empire certainly seem right now in the straight for the win.
Now, don't write off EG just yet. It was on Coastline when G2 sat on match point and EG was able to make that triumphant comeback, force overtime against them, and ultimately fall short. But still, there is room left on this runway for an EG victory to land, should it want to. But that runway gets shorter every single round. And every single opportunity that Empire has, every single kill, it just continuously pushes EG farther and farther back.
Evil Genius is one of the oldest teams in Rainbow6 Pro League. They've been around since nearly the very beginning. Empire, in contrast, so very new, but doing so very well. Joystick challenging the breach, and he gets away with it. He doesn't get anything out of it, but he gets away without being punished on a brazen peek through a breached hole and garage panel, and he's looking for a frag. He might actually find it. The way that Joystick's aim is right now, it just seems like he's on point, and then some.
He knows that NBK is playing a lot farther back, and he will lose that fight in terms of optics, but whether he's able to push on out is the real question. There's Karzeka above him, who will just watch and make sure that nobody pushes Joystick from the left through the other garage door, and no! Young gets dropped! He wanders just in front of the garage, but Gio will trade it off a little bit later. Necrox falls to Dan, and Empire right now are just fighting trade for trade for trade. Very reminiscent of a team that is absent in Milan in G2 with the way that they play. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds within one another. That's a beautiful opportunity here as Karzeka goes hunting and will take a chunk away of NBK's HP. HP, and it's a joint effort as Scyther will find the rest of it.
Team Empire now in such a great position, and they only need to hold on for 40 seconds. And there goes Geo. It's all on Canadian now. And the 1 versus 4, and it's just not gonna happen. Empire, match point on map 3 of this final. An absolute tear of rounds. Evil geniuses have just not been present.
EG sitting now on the precipice of defeat, on the brink of being eliminated here. They sat for so long on match point, and now they find themselves seated on the opposite side. They will take an opportunity for a tactical timeout. There's been nothing that has seemed to slow down and nothing that seems to cause this Russian machine to break, as people say quite often.
This is the right moment for Evil Geniuses to take a tactical pause.
If the Cold War had ended this way, we'd all be speaking Russian in North America right now.
It's true. Evil Geniuses need to change something. The mindset is the greatest issue.
You can see the shakes in the gameplay from EG on Oregon, and it carried on. And a mass of camera crews, doting fans, journalists, people with just simply cell phone cameras. Once amassed over on the side of Evil Geniuses, the right side of the stage, are now moving over to the left. And they have circled the bench that Team Empire sits behind, awaiting your possible victors and the first to lift the new trophy that sits in the center of the stage here in Milan.
It was once so crowded over here, but this is looking desperate for Evil Geniuses.
I think desperation was at the end of Oregon. Yeah. Obliteration seems to be where we're sitting at right now.
Yeah.
Since sitting on match point, EG has won just the single round. That was it.
I'm trying to find the words. And
astonishing.
Astonishing, disappointing, for sure. But also, I am thoroughly impressed by Empire. Not a lot of teams have the wherewithal to persevere like that, to just push past such an extreme disadvantage they had in Oregon, and then turn it into not only a comeback on that map, but an absolute stomp on the following. Evil Geniuses could still bring it back, but I just can't help but shake my head.
It seemed inconceivable that we would need a third map at all, and now it seems inconceivable that the team that almost closed things out on the second map now finds themselves lost. Not treading water, close to drowning. It has really been a sight to behold.
Evil Geniuses playing very cautiously, as they have been for the majority of this map, and not working heavily against them.
That kind of caution, I can understand why they would do it, but at the same time, that kind of caution catches you off guard. EG have not been able to muster much on the offensive side of things. Canadian is still searching for his very first kill. NVK only has one. That tells a story about EG, about their capabilities and about their state of mind, especially with Young holding the most kills on the team in a position where he isn't often the person doing that.
Young is the rock. Young is the player that always performs. Young will always be there no matter what. But NVK and Canadian are the fraggers. They're the ones who need to be putting up those kills, and they're also, at the same time, the ones that seem the most psyched out if we're just judging based on their scoreboard.
A very safe and secure spot at the side of Arsenal Room will be where the Pulse plays, often referred to as Pulse Spot. You can do some work on that cardiac sensor, but because there's an Evil Eye camera situated all the way at the end of the Arsenal hallway, you can watch those double doors without having the Pulse do so. This allows Karzeka to play aggressively underneath the kitchen hatch if he wants. Xkaros will go down on said kitchen hatch, and Geo will immediately get out of there as quickly as he can, but it did appear that Dan was in a position to impact Trick. He won't get it. The hatch will open freely inside of kitchen.
Good job there. Geo getting that hatch open. Joystick playing aggressive inside of blue, and that's actually going to save his life because he was nearly exposed to an opponent there on a long angle from Moto. MBK will miss his shots, but Canadian won't. There goes Scyther. Okay, all right. Evil Genius is present and accounted for, but they only have 40 seconds to make this happen. There goes the flank of Joystick. Absolutely huge from Necrox.
Canadian finding his very first kill, and you'll see some entry denial onto that church wall. Still, even with an advantage, Evil Geniuses will need to filter on in and might find themselves in the line of fire of Empire, who will just sit and wait for the time being and try to burn down this clock as best as possible. EG lording over top of their opponents, but you still have Empire just waiting. Karzeka inside of blue has a drop on anybody who decides to push in through Moto. Frag grenade will sail on in, it will miss its intended target, and Karzeka will not be able to win the fight. The guns from EG will come alive. Shepard takes one down, immediately traded off, and there you go. EG needed this. EG was ready for that round, but what more will happen? Tie a couple more of those together, grab the momentum, and continue to build off of it. You took your tactical timeout, and you grab your second round, but there needs to be more and more and more.
4 rounds in a row is what it will take for Evil Geniuses to get to OT. We've seen some pretty incredible comebacks, but even Empire didn't need 4 in a row. They only needed 3. This is even more difficult than what Empire managed in the last map. If it were to happen, it would be absolutely incredible and unheard of. Evil Geniuses, great round win there. You could see on their faces, though, a sigh of relief. But for how long will that last? We'll be going to basement here again for Empire.
EG just needs to get out of their own head, that's it.
That's exactly right.
They are living in their own head, Red and Free.
Yeah, and they've been there for quite a long time now. And it's, you know, it might be too late, even if they do make it out of their own heads at this point.
It's been almost an hour since EG sat on championship point, and that is something that will obviously weigh on them moving forward, whether they win or whether they lose, whether they survive this dance with the devil that they tend to find themselves in against their opponents.
It's definitely possible. It's still in the cards for EG.
We can bring a very similar lineup here for both of these teams now as well. But the Pulse has been subbed out for Team Empire, and Karzeka instead will go with the Electroclaw. I don't know how much of that just simply goes on what Empire sees as a deficiency in their ability to stop the X-Kairos of Geo, or whether or not they're worried about the breach charge taking out that church wall. But there were a lot of things that went wrong for Empire in that particular round, and a lot of things that EG was able to capitalize upon because of it.
I think that Empire are comfortable with the information that they have at the hand with the Evil Eyes, as well as just, you know, it's Clubhouse. It's a pretty predictable map. You can understand where the take is coming from. I think they're comfortable with that, and thus they're going to go ahead and lean heavier on the denial part of things. That might be the right call if you're Empire. They can also juggle the Moto drop down, as you can see. Karzeka is doing that right now.
2 EMPs will take care of that, though, because you'll likely yank the Electroclaw down and then immediately throw it up once the EMP's down, but there could be yet another tossed in.
That's a healthy price.
And that'll be on NVK to do that. That will often leave you with just one of those EMPs left onto the church wall.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at Team Empire, Karzeka might have one on the church wall, but keep in mind there's 3 panels. And Electroclaw will only take care of 2 of them.
Like I said, expensive, but might be worth it.
Be a prioritization for Team Empire looking to close this one out. EG's push will start very similar to what we see from most teams attacking Church. They will take complete control of that main floor. They will push down through the central stairs, and, well, they need to get something going onto the church wall. But here's something a little bit different. Geo is actually taking out a portion of the dirt tunnel with his X-Kairos. You don't see that every single day, and it was just one burst that was expended. A second from Geo will now go onto the kitchen hatch, and it will be successful in its intended target, needing that kitchen hatch to open on up. Stock is also open, and there's a fire arrow that could go down and force Joystick to move right into the waiting arms of somebody from EG.
So it's going to be a full split here from Evil Geniuses. A blue take, a dirt tunnel take, and a moto take. The nade from Canadian does land onto Joystick. The Evil Eye is destroyed thanks to the EMP. Things are going well for EG.
It's a big opportunity for Canadian as well, who's now seemingly found his mojo. That's 2 kills on the previous 2 rounds when he had 0 before. He's going to wait for the cavalry to arrive as NVK will just slowly saunter on down the main hallway. Still waiting on the blue push is Karzeka. Dan gets down by Canadian, finished off, but Canadian gunned down by Karzeka as he pivots very quickly. And looking for another is Karzeka. He'll light up Necrox in a 3v3. Empire have tons of marks as well. Looking for the head, but Scyther knows that he can't shoot through that. He'll lose the fight to NVK. NVK, as Nathan Valenti will just hold that long angle and a diffuser will go down with EG seemingly found the magic that they lost on Oregon and the momentum that they needed to keep themselves in this one. Shepard looking to possibly get out of Church and head towards where the diffuser may lay, but Empire appear to be blind for the time being and not sure of where to go next. Karzeka's sights lie on Dirt Tunnel. It's called an escape tunnel, and well, EG might escape from this round with the victory, but none of them are in the location that Empire think they might be. Only a third of this diffuser left, and this patience from Empire is proving to be their undoing. Shepard will get one down, anticipating another. He'll toss out a smoke and go for the disable. If nobody from EG can solve this, then it'll be very easy for Empire to hold on, but no! EG will put their second on the board in the last 2 rounds. And this is the momentum that they need to continue to carry forward and knock Empire off, knowing that now the pressure lies on the shoulder of the Russians.
Evil Geniuses showing signs of life. Team Empire has to adjust their site selection. The basement is just not working out. It's come close 2 different times with 2 different variants, but Evil Geniuses have managed to pick it apart both. I loved the strategy there from Evil Geniuses in that last round. They applied pressure to Blue, Moto, and Dirt Tunnel. That Dirt Tunnel pressure from Geo was the most important thing, and Canadian's presence as the sledge, using the nade to get the first kill on the joystick, follow that up with finishing off the player at Shelf inside of Arsenal. Absolutely massive. That allowed Geo to push into Dirt. It allowed the drop from the kitchen drop, allowing for the diffuser plant. Everything went right for Evil Geniuses. And NVK also playing at the bottom of main stairs. Just such a great job. He cut off the rotation between sites. So many things going right for EG. And again, that's the sort of strategy, that's the sort of level that EG was showing us all through Oregon, all through Bank.
Empire stalls a tactical timeout as well if they think that their chances of winning have become imperiled by their mindset or by the strategies that EG has in front of them. And if I remember, at least if my notes are correct here, a team has immediately won the next round after their tactical timeout. So because of this, if they take a tactical timeout and they win 1 round, that's really all they need. Keep in mind that they can also use it for overtime. Evil Geniuses used theirs previously, and then they won the 2 rounds since. How long is that going to continue for? Well, it's a different site for Empire, so EG with Canadian on the Montaigne will lead the way over towards the cache and CCTV wall. There's lots of breach denial there from Team Empire, both in the hands of the Bandit as well as in the hands of the Kaid. There's a lot of slugging power on Empire, and joystick will be on all reliable in that Jaeger.
Young and NVK looking to deal with this server wall. Dan, active Bandit tricky. It's a dangerous thing to do, but it could work out pretty well. Canadian on the Montaigne could be the saving grace for Evil Geniuses. He is such a powerful Montaigne player as of late. We've seen this from him many times in the past of the tournament.
He can't expose his side to take out joystick either because Karzeka is looming large above on top of the rafters as you'd expect an ACOG to be playing, likely equipped with an ADS or 2, so trying to deal with him might be difficult, but there's a tool on Evil Genius's side, and it's an asphyxiating bolt that could be in Necrox's hand. Somehow EG has managed to force the Bandit of Dan off of that wall, who's now sitting inside a cache, and the CCTV wall is free for the taking.
That was a beautiful angle. That was through the garage window, through the garage panel that was opened up outside on the southwest corner. Beautiful job there on the side of the Capitale of Necrox. Canadian now can force his way up the catwalk, and he takes out Karzeka! An easy melee right to the face of the dock of Empire, and Evil Geniuses have a man count lead. A good situation. Oh, what are you doing, joystick? Young, a free kill onto the Jaeger, and Team Empire are starting to feel the pain.
This is the same circumstances that EG found themselves in, and now Canadian will just continue to march on forward. He knows that they can't really do all that much. Oh, he'll tap 1, but the Bandit's gonna get trapped inside of the site. Canadian looking for 1 kill, but Scyther will gun down 2 of his teammates, and that diffuser will be dropped as well. This could go very bad for Empire, who are bailing themselves out of a bad situation. With Geo down below, this could be the end of EG's miracle return to form. Just a second of a miscalculation there from EG is all that matters, and Scyther is waiting for the body of NVK to pop up at the top of red stairs. Dan will come up now as well, but Geo could possibly catch the Maestro off guard. The Maestro looks the wrong way. Will he be able to win the fight? No, Geo does! This will prompt Dan to have to do double duty, and NVK will watch as Geo goes for the plant. The sound cue will give Dan the information. Oh, he takes one down! And a new Empire will rise as you crown a new champion here in Milan. An addition of Dan to this team proves to be what's needed, and this miracle comeback from Evil Geniuses will be all but a dream. Empire are your Season 9 champions.
An absolutely amazing comeback on Oregon, followed by a stomp fest on Clubhouse and a lockout when EG seemed to have it made. Team Empire proved themselves the better team in the long run, at least for now. What a wonderful match.
An absolute heartbreaker, and you got that feeling, Michael, at least I did, that we were looking at an opportunity to go to overtime. It sure did feel like we were back at the 6th Invitational in 2018.
Oh yeah.
With EG storming back after finding themselves down by such a number. And a team that tried their damnedest and gave us such a thrilling performance at the 6th Invitational in 2019. The longest competitive match in Pro League and competitive Rainbow6 history. That thriller on Coastline ends up being your champions here in Milan, but you don't want to hear from us. You want to hear from them. Congratulations, Team Empire.
Finally, we get there after it nearly goes one way and another and almost back again. But here in Milan, the new Pro League champions are Team Empire. Wow. On behalf of everybody, wow. Kazeka. Let me take you quickly back. 3 months ago, we were at the World Championship Final, the 6th Invitational in Montreal, and there, you gave us the longest map of competitive Siege we'd ever had at a finals, took it to G2, but after you lost that game, crumbled and left that as the runners-up. Here, it so nearly went the same. You were seconds of losing this to EG, but you will lift that. Give us a feeling of how emotionally you've changed during that map as you nearly lost it and came out to be the winners.
I mean, I don't know what to say right now. Right now I'm speechless. Like, we were down like 3-6, and there was like 3 rounds when Evil Geniuses were on match point, and all of 3 rounds we were in clutch situation, like 1v1, 2v2. Like, we sat there so nervous, and every time my teammates clutched this round. So I don't know what to say. That after we went to overtime on Oregon, we were sure that it's our map and we were gonna win that. And after we won Oregon, we just knew that we won't let that come back. Like,
very quickly, what do you want to say to the people here who are watching and here in Milan who have been cheering you on all the way to the end?
I mean, this energy that we feel from you guys, from all the viewers, from our families, from online viewers who are watching that from Twitch, we all love you. Thanks for the support a lot. It gives us strength.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Pro League champions of Season 9.